But we have our first domino, Cody, of the trade deadline for the Tigers. Carson Kelly, whom we talked about earlier on this podcast, in theory, now it's actual. He is traded to the Texas Rangers for a two prospect haul that includes a catching prospect, Liam Hicks, and a right-handed reliever, Tyler Owens. Both of those players currently reside in Double A Frisco, just about 20 minutes from my house. So initial thoughts. My initial thought is, all right, you got two players for a catching rental. You got another arm to add to the system, and then you kind of you know add another catcher to the organization. I'm not going to pretend to have like advanced scouting reports on these guys. Liam Hicks is 25. Tyler Owens, the pitcher, is 23. He was a high school draft pick, so he's been a professional for several years now. So Cody, I've been spewing kind of nonsense. It's not like I have a lot of intense thoughts about this, but the theory of getting an arm, stocking up the catcher cupboard a little bit for Carson Kelly on the surface, I think this is fine.
Yeah, I talked earlier about just you just kind of give everybody B's in the grading trade game. I think I'd give the Rangers a B plus. I don't think the rest of the league really realizes how good of a year Carson Kelly has had. He seems like piece who could help him, especially if Jonah Heim continues to struggle in Texas. Maybe Kelly ends up playing a decent bit down the stretch. So I think the fit makes a lot of sense there. For the Tigers, I'd go B minus, maybe C plus. Like the return is fine. I think for a rental catcher, I think what makes it look a little bit worse is what the Blue Jays got in exchange for Danny Jansen yesterday. Now Jansen's been a more consistent player over his career than Carson Kelly, but Carson Kelly's been the better player this year. The Blue Jays got three prospects, two infielders, Cutter Coffee, and oh gosh, what is the other guy's name here? Edinson Paulino, both kind of viewed as like higher upside type infielders. You actually glance their numbers, it's not like they've been overly impressive. Sometimes like, did people just like that trade because Cutter Coffee is a cool name? But I overall think you can see more clear upside in that return going to the Blue Jays for a fairly comparable player. The Tigers seem to go more for like, I don't even know if high floor is a fair term here. Hicks, the catcher, like older catcher, seems like straight up organizational depth. The Tigers probably, especially, we can assume Dylan Dinkler is going to get promoted here, probably Monday. So Hicks can fill in somewhere in the minor leagues. And then Owens is a slightly interesting pitcher. I think you would look for a little more upside there. He's about 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. He only stands 5'10", so maybe that's a little bit of a concern. But he's got a fastball that can hit the upper 90s, slider, cutter combo. He's had some command problems in the past. I hit up a scouting source who described Owens as erratic but good arm, heave ho type, big max effort to get to his stuff. So not really a glowing scouting report, but it's like, well, he's had a good year in Double A, 2.80 ERA, cut down on the walks a little bit, not crazy swing and miss stuff, but a little bit's there. If he can improve, become a halfway serviceable MLB reliever, and you get that in exchange for 2 months of Carson Kelly, that's fine. That's honestly like a pretty realistic return. So, not enthused about this trade, but not like panning it either. It's really what you would expect for a rental catcher.